China just did something that makes people extremely uncomfortable. They unveiled a humanoid robot face that looks almost too human. Not the stiff mechanical expressions we have gotten used to seeing. Not the obviously artificial movements that remind you this is a machine. This robot blinks naturally, scans rooms, like a person would react to what it sees, and shows subtle emotional changes in real time. And when you watch the footage, something in your brain struggles to accept what it is seeing, because this crosses a line we did not realize existed until it got crossed.
情绪表达测试，发呆，生气，开心，难过，困惑，焦虑，惊讶，轻蔑，恐惧，思考，想到了，困，睡吧。
The video started circulating recently and came from Yu Honghu, the founder of Showing Technology. It picked up massive attention online specifically because of how realistic it looked. People were not just impressed, they were unsettled. For years, robotics development focused almost entirely on physical capability. Can the machine lift heavy objects? Can it walk without falling? Can it operate reliably in a factory environment? Those were the benchmarks that mattered. But now researchers and companies are starting to admit something different. Movement and strength are not actually the biggest challenge anymore. The real challenge is making robots socially acceptable. And that requires solving a problem that has nothing to do with motors or hydraulics. It requires making machines that feel human. Companies like Aheadform have already been working on this direction. They released a humanoid platform called ELF V1 back in October 2025, which focused heavily on facial expressions and reaction-based interaction. The idea behind this approach is actually pretty straightforward when you break it down. Robots that can perform physical work already exist everywhere. In many cases, a simple robotic arm can handle those jobs faster and cheaper than any humanoid design. So, if humanoid robots are going to succeed, especially in roles where they interact with the public, they need something more than functionality. They need to communicate emotion. That is where these new systems become genuinely different. These robots are being constructed with synthetic skin micro-actuators positioned under the surface and AI models that control facial expressions in real time. They can blink at natural intervals, they track faces during conversation, they react appropriately to what people say, and they adjust their expressions based on context. When paired with multimodal AI systems, like the Omni AI platform mentioned in demonstrations, they can see, hear, and respond in ways that feel natural during human interaction. What is starting to become clear across the industry is that the face might end up being the most important part of the entire robot. Not the legs that allow it to walk, not the arms that let it manipulate objects, but the ability to communicate emotion through facial expressions. Because if these machines are going to work in places like shopping malls, museums, airports, or customer service environments, the way they interact with people matters just as much as what they can physically accomplish. At the same time, there is still serious debate inside the robotics industry about this approach. Some experts view these humanoid robots as more of a performance showcase right now, something that looks impressive in demonstrations but is not economically efficient for actual deployment. Others are completely convinced that making robots more human-like represents the only way they will ever be widely accepted in everyday life. And while that debate continues, another completely different direction is moving forward in parallel: industrial robotics powered by large AI models. A company called Agile Robots based in Germany just announced a collaboration with Google DeepMind. The goal here is combining DeepMind's Gemini Robotics Foundation models with Agile Robots' existing hardware systems. This is not about making robots more human-looking. This is about making them significantly smarter and more capable in real-world production environments. Agile Robots has already deployed over 20,000 robotic systems globally, so they are not starting from scratch. They have a full lineup that includes robotic hands, force-sensitive arms like the FR3, the Dyna 7 arm, and the Thor series. Their new humanoid platform, called Agile 1, is designed to work alongside humans in industrial settings safely and efficiently. When you combine that hardware with something like Gemini Robotics models, you get a very different kind of system. Instead of a robot that follows fixed instructions programmed in advance, you get one that can adapt, learn from real-world data, and improve its performance over time. They are calling this approach an AI flywheel. Basically, the robots get deployed into real environments. They collect operational data during normal operations. That data gets used to train and refine the AI models, and then those improved models make the robots perform better, which allows for broader deployment across more facilities, and that cycle just keeps accelerating. The collaboration between Agile Robots and DeepMind is structured in multiple phases where systems are continuously tested, improved, and redeployed. The initial focus is on high-value industrial applications, especially in areas that require reliability and scalability. This also connects to a broader strategy from DeepMind. They have been expanding partnerships across the entire robotics space. Earlier this year, they announced work with Boston Dynamics to enhance the Atlas humanoid robot using Gemini models. They are also working with Aptronic on the Apollo humanoid platform. And Intrinsic Innovation has joined Google as a separate unit focused specifically on robotics development. So while one part of the industry is trying to make robots more human on the outside, another part is making them far more capable on the inside. And then you have cases where both of these directions start showing up together in real-world environments. For example, at San Jose Mineta International Airport, there is now an AI-powered humanoid robot named Jose operating inside Terminal B near Gate 24. This robot was developed by a startup called InBot, and it was designed specifically for passenger interaction. It can greet travelers, answer questions, provide directions, and it supports more than 50 languages. That capability matters significantly in an international airport where people from all over the world are trying to navigate a complex environment while stressed about flights and connections. The robot uses a combination of perception, reasoning, and natural interaction to understand what people need and respond accordingly. This is part of a 4-month pilot program to test how these systems perform in busy public spaces. City officials are evaluating this as a way to improve customer experience, accessibility, and overall efficiency, especially with events like the FIFA World Cup expected to bring in large numbers of international visitors. At the same time, InBot is framing this deployment as part of a bigger shift toward what they call social intelligence in physical AI. The idea is that robots need to understand human intent, context, and behavior, not just follow commands or scripts. You are seeing something extremely similar in China as well, where humanoid robots are already being deployed in customer-facing roles. There was a recent demonstration inside a McDonald's in Shanghai where robots developed by Keenan Robotics were greeting customers, taking orders, delivering food, and even interacting with diners in real time. They were wearing the standard red and yellow McDonald's uniforms, blending into the environment while still being clearly robotic in appearance. What stands out here is that these robots are not doing back-end tasks hidden from customers. They are positioned right in front of people, handling roles that were traditionally considered extremely difficult to automate because they require constant interaction and communication with unpredictable humans. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest AI and robotics updates. For more cutting-edge tech content, check out AI Tech Academy, where we break down the technology shaping tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.